Start us off, go ahead.
Jennie, talk about the final minute or so of the game, your thoughts. I mean, obviously, you pulled it out and got it going, so talk about the final minute, what happened there, if you remember. I know lots going on there.
Well, I mean, I'll go a little bit before that final minute and getting to the free throw line, obviously Sahara, and then Skylar tying the game. And I thought, again, you know, I'm really proud of Zaya. I think she struggled today, but then being able to put her in at the end of the game, I think is huge for us. And then I'm really proud of the way that Beatrice Culleton played. And I thought she just had great awareness in terms of the defensive end. I thought she did a great job of being where she needed to be and not overcommitting. She understood, she saw what was happening, and came up with a really big play. And then I feel like I'm probably missing some, but in terms of managing at the end of the game for Peyton and Sky to be that steady, to be able to get into kind of a two-player game was really good, because you didn't really want them with the tie game to get to set up their defense, and they're such good defenders. And so, yeah, they made a play, and obviously the rest is history.
And then specifically that last defensive possession with Gaston, what she'd been able to do.
Yeah, and then the big play. Yeah. Well, I thought Sky made a pretty good read there, and that's hard, you know, because when you have to draw so much attention with one player, that's a challenge, because you're giving something up, and we were giving something up, and we had to go, and I thought Sky went, and I thought B kind of held her own as much as she could possibly hold her own, but we also know that Gaston scored on everybody in the country, and so she deserves to have at least two people guarding her. And there were times when she had one-on-one coverage, she made us pay, and there were times that she had one-on-two, she made us pay, but we needed to make sure that we made that adjustment.
Coach, despite having 20 turnovers, it seems that ball movement was
When we do, it's amazing. Like honestly, and that's I think you probably saw me probably more angry today. I want us to understand how good we can freaking be, and I'm pretty positive, and I'm pretty let's try it. But at the end of the day, we took the second half for granted. We can't take the second half for granted, and you can't against good teams. You can't in this conference. And what I don't understand is why, when things are going well and things work so well, the reason that we don't just keep doing it. And I think sometimes there's that innate, okay, well, I can prove I can do this. Oh, and I can do this. And until we decide that we really want to be a great team, I don't know how to help us. So, and normally you don't see me like this. Normally I'm really positive, and I'll give you all sorts of stuff. But at the end of the day, if we don't start freaking taking care of the basketball, we're gonna struggle, because we're giving up 25 points a game. So when we don't, we're really, really freaking good. And when we do, it comes down to the end, and we give up a 10-point lead in a minute.
Skylar, what's your perspective on that?
Please clean that up. See, I was so positive saying it, and I looked nice.
I mean, Jennie couldn't be more right, and that's something we're trying to work on, especially the turnovers. And I don't know why we sometimes do struggle with like what is working, but I mean, I think one thing is like don't hesitate. I think that's something that a lot of our turnovers come from, is like hesitation and then trying to pass it, because usually it's too late. But I mean, I think we're a great team. I think we can do great things still this season. But I think once we're able to kind of figure those things out, which like this is the time to figure it out right now, I mean, we're going to be where we want to be by the end of this regular season. So,
Sky, it was great that you were looking for your shot. You got 15 shots tonight. You haven't done that in a while. How did it feel to get going offensively for you?
I mean, my team has just put me in really good positions today.
No, you took shots today.
I did take shots.
Yeah. And you didn't hesitate.
Yeah.
And she didn't hesitate, and she
You
was
looked
in a
for
flow.
a three.
And we didn't worry if it went in or didn't go in. You know, we have a lot of that too. We have a lot of where we're feeling, and that's what happens when you turned over, right? Is that you have less possessions, right? And so then you hesitate, and then that shot means a little bit more, and then we kind of think about it a little bit more. I feel like Sky tonight didn't. I felt like she just got in the flow, and she shot it, and even the ones that didn't go in, they looked good. Except for the one in the corner that you hit the side of the backboard, but
I
other
don't
than
think I hit
that
that.
one,
I think I just hit nothing.
it was pretty good.
Yeah.
So Sky, I mean,
Yeah,
have you just decided, you get back to going forward again?
For sure. I think not just for myself, but also for my team. I need to know that I gotta look to score when I have the ball, especially, or when I feel like I have a mismatch. And I definitely did that today, and it felt good. It felt like kind of how I know I just play good when I'm doing that, and I think I get also my teammates in good positions when I'm thinking score as well. And but I do think like Beatrice gave me great passes today. When I was posting up, like she was giving me the perfect lobs every time. So, but yeah.
Just gotta go along with it. You had 3 offensive rebounds that were pretty crucial
Yeah.
because you got the last second shot as well, not the last second, but last final minute shot. What were you seeing there to get that advantage? Just like when you really needed it. What were you seeing from the Auburn team that you could take advantage of?
I mean, I wasn't even thinking about an advantage, to be honest. I literally closed my eyes and like took a breath and I was like, get this board if it doesn't go in. Like that's literally what I told myself. And I mean, that's what I did. I wasn't focused on anything else. I wasn't focused on who was boxing me out. I was like, I'm gonna get around them and get qualified too. So.
Skylar, for you, I know from like the outside it'd be easy as saying you guys have played without Reagan the last 2 games, so it's like reverting back to how you played last year. How do you, when the lineup's fully healthy again, make sure you continue to have this aggression and get like this version of you for the team?
I mean, we just gotta, once we can get this like motion going, like when we're doing it, it's working. And once we can get that in and then we incorporate Reagan, like, I mean, we're gonna be where we wanna be easily. So I think once we're all healthy, I think we can't stray away from like what is working, but also how we need to figure out how we're gonna integrate her also, that just that post presence in the paint as well, so.
Speaking of Reagan, has she still got the flu, or what's going on with her?
I am not sure, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I'm hoping she's back soon.
Yes.
We don't know yet.
Yeah.
I don't have a timeline for you.
Okay.
Just kind of
Scott, I was just gonna ask you about what Jenny said about Zaya and her development. What have you seen from the way that she's gone about things and just the growth from her recently, especially?
For me, it's just, I think her transition of like being able to, like high school, you're able to kind of score at will, to now where you're in this conference where it's hard to get easy shots. It's hard to make any shots really against these girls. But I think just Zaya's like, I think she's getting really good composure. I think her defense is really good, getting a lot better since she's been here. And I mean, I think this for her, I mean, her game's just gonna keep growing as she gets older and as she just progresses. So I'm really happy to see kind of how she's working around not scoring as much, but how she's defending.
Scott, for you guys as a group, you had the turnover issues for the first 8 or so minutes of the fourth quarter. What did it take to lock it back in there at the end for that final 90 seconds?
I don't know why. I feel like we were really tense at that point. I think because we're losing the lead, and then we're like, okay, we got to force it in, got to force this person, and then we're turning it over. And I think in that last couple possessions, I think it felt a lot more fluid. I felt like we were just kind of like passing, cutting, and like just getting it to the person, and it was working out in our favor. So I think we just gotta stop being so tense when like times get kind of tight and like hard. And I mean, if we do that, I mean, we're limiting turnovers easily when we're just playing and flowing. So.
Coach, what was the game plan on that final defensive possession? What were you telling your girls when they went out there? What was there?
Well, they've been in some end-of-game situations, so we had some ideas of what they were going to do, and if I were them, I would have given it to Gaston too. So you knew that was coming, and I feel like we did a pretty good job. But again, you had to leave somebody open to be able to do that. So yeah, I thought Sky made a really nice read. She was in between two, and then she read the pass.
Scott, can you talk about that play?
Yeah, I was hoping I got the ball. I just missed it, but I think we talked about it in the circle, and we all knew. Like Jay said, we've been in these positions, and I mean, Gaston was working us in the paint. So I mean, you're gonna give us a hot hand. Like that's just basketball in general. So I think for me, it was either pick kind of the outside person or give it like have my teammate be a one-on-one with Gaston on the block with 4 seconds left. To me, like that was just an easy decision for me at the end.
Anything else, guys? Awesome. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Thanks.